Let's take a look at next company. I'm currently doing a series where I'm taking a look at the top contractors within UK. Contracting would be with regards to defense and everything what would be considered to be defense, but not necessarily limited to only defense and security. Since some of those contracts it has either way. So there's contractor side. So the large contracts available for what I understand, it should be available for everyone, right? But if anything, I'm looking at the top companies who seems to perform very well, if anything. And let's try to understand what those companies are doing well to be contracted by the government to fulfill some of those contracts. In this video, we're gonna be taking a look at Ultra Electronics Holdings and let's try to understand what this company does. It seems that this company is well-established company, and but let's cover that in more detail and let's take a look at the company's website. Introduction: Innovating today for a safer tomorrow. It seems very similar to a previous company, but either way. So perhaps everyone is very friendly up there at the top when it comes to receiving government funding, right, and executing some of those contracts. Perhaps there's very friendly companies up there who are not there to compete or are there to execute and deliver, but not there to compete. If there are some competitors, they might bought those competitors out from acquire those. And then they can be very friendly again if that's the case. But either way, I'm trying to understand a little bit better. Ultra has been involved for over 100 years, and we continue to build innovation into all of our products, processes, and culture. So they focus a lot on a strategy when it comes to 100%. They perhaps are investing a large percentage of overall money or that they receive in innovation and perhaps cutting edge technology. That would be 5-10%. Money that would receive, they perhaps invest into their own business or products or services that they're looking to deliver. We are very proud of our heritage. We have been solving our customers' most complex problems, pioneering the innovation defense technologies that help make the world a safer place, which is a great thing. To receive some of those contracts, right? What would be a requirement when it comes to lobbying, right? That's why I'm interested to understand, right? How come the way how those some of those contracts would be structured only land into hands of perhaps 5 or 10 players? So it's not necessarily be available to anyone to enter those markets. How hard it is to enter, and then structuring those contracts, they are just land. So it's a very interesting way to look at things when it comes to actually doing business for over 100 years and not letting other business people to enter those markets and how those companies do operate. We understand that is an unpredictable world of research and development is essential to innovate, not only to stay ahead of new trends from a global adversities, but also to create new jobs and prosperity. That's why Ultra Labs operate as a global network of diverse thinkers, engineers, and scientists. Our team are experts in areas including artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data, and cloud computing, and advanced data visualization. So if anything, they have put a lot of their attention in those particular areas, as well as they're looking to expand into infrastructure, which is even more interested. So some of those companies looking into investing into infrastructure and building on top of the infrastructure. And not enough fulfilling those contracts. To fulfill those contracts, they would build infrastructure on top of that. Interesting. We call our approach to developing technologies and solutions of tomorrow mission focused innovation. What do we mean? Other companies have expressed very similar vision, so it sounds like perhaps they're working together. or they have share very similar values, perhaps. It is about starting with our customers or having the customer-centric approach, right? Always challenging problems and working backwards to the technologies and solutions that will solve them backwards. So interesting engineering. To achieve this, we need to understand what our customers really need better than ever. That includes both the present needs and the going one step further to understand the potential future needs. Only then we can build the cutting edge technology for a safer tomorrow. So either way, so let's say how many individuals would be able to access some of those contracts, right? So, or reach out to some of those government contractors and purchase fighting jets, right? How many individuals can do it? Most recently, I believe there's a handful of individuals, and that was made legal to actually purchase that in the US. Other than that, only perhaps governments can do that. So all this information is meant to be for governments. It's just a show, I guess, if anything, when it comes to doing business, right? So governments would approach some of those contractors and do business only government to government, or almost like all government to business, right? Core values that would be combating near peer threats. Interesting. We're talking about what? Reconnaissance? Reconnaissance? Either way, okay. I mean, I get it. It's a very interesting way of putting things into perspective, as well as countering asymmetric threats. Interesting. That would be like a proxy war, right? So you not necessarily engage directly, but you can hire perhaps groups of interesting individuals to do things for you from different governments. Interesting asymmetric threats. Doing more with less. Okay. So they're having a lot of uh, finances and perhaps optimizing those finances, accelerating, detect, accelerating, detect to deploy. Okay, so it seems like they have a lot of experts on board, right, when it comes to doing business. Since there's a lot of capital involved, perhaps they have access to one of the best know-how that they can purchase for a dollar of the when it comes to solving problems, right? And or if anything, or perhaps optimizing everything. Then I can see currently within the news and everything about $200 drone blowing up tanks, and it can be worth $1 million or so. Perhaps for anything, the target would be from 100,000 up to sometimes up to $5 million dollar tank, right, has been blown out by. Perhaps it would be more cost benefit of investing more in security when it comes to developing some of the technologies, where preventive measures can be taken into account, as well as optimizing the use of the capital, if anything. That would be a very sound decision to make, especially of how much of overall GDP of hard-earned cash of a nation would be reinvested into that nation's defense. 2%, right, that we're talking about. So optimizing that money to the best possible way, if anything. Or any takeaways, right? So if anyone brought you a suitcase with a brand new shiny equipment, you better look after that equipment, because people out there have spent so much time paying taxes, earning all that 2% of government. It's money that will be spent on military equipment. It was very hard money, right? So the people out there who are blowing stuff up, not looking after the things, all the equipment, if anything, that money earned by the taxpayers was very hard earned money. If you're interested in learning more, I have published a journal, Inkflow. In the journal, I'm sharing a lot of information with people who are interested in developing themselves, as well as improving themselves, learning more, becoming better, effective when it comes to your daily routines, and how you should approach every single day. If you where to pick up this journal, I would highly recommend to work from cover to cover. That would give enough time for you to develop habits that will last ideally, as well as bringing more of your focus when it comes to 24 hours cycle and optimizing that cycle every single day, right? I have highlighted particular areas that you should address every single day, which I personally believe are very important. I would highly recommend to start with those. Once you start to understand why I have highlighted these areas, you can improve on top of those areas and perhaps optimize those areas that would be more suitable to your personal circumstances. But start with those, as well as you can find this journal in the description below, as well as Top Leaders has it. Uh, Seems that this company is doing very well. If I can tell you one thing, seems that this company particularly is doing very well. I personally believe perhaps they are very conscious when it comes to money and how much value of the money, how you can stretch your money. This company seems that they do focus on that, but still, they have, if anything, they most likely have the best people out there on their team. I'd rather have this team on my side, this company's team working on my side instead of opposing side. But still, it's I personally believe it's we as a group of or as a society overpaying for some of those things, and there should be more competition or room for entering into this market. If anything, more people should be able to enter some of those markets, and making by doing that we're making more market more competitive. So as well there should be ways of entering those market. I can see a top players and I can understand why some of those companies are there at the top. I do understand it. If anything, as well as there's always room for improvement. If anything, how easy should be enter those markets, and perhaps bringing more products and services into those markets, right? Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.